OK, let's start then with the back page of the Times. Gents, and United buyout is finally done, or partial buyout as well. The Times back page has the story in a little sidebar. Ratcliffe buys 28% of United. Jason, how significant? It's been coming for a while, but does it feel like a new dawn?
It does, absolutely. I think Manchester United fans have been waiting for this confirmation for some time. We obviously were told it was going to happen in February, and it has done so. And it does feel like a new dawn, as you say. You know, we obviously know that things are moving apace already at Manchester United with various moves to bring in people, new chief executive, new director of football, new sporting director, and so on and so forth. So already Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe are having a significant effect at Manchester United. But to have this actually confirmed and to see the statement from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and how happy he is and how significant a moment it is in terms of his own life as well as his career and what his future holds with Manchester United is a big moment. And I think it's one for the fans to celebrate. I'm sure, obviously, they wanted to see a full takeover. They wanted to see the back of the Glazer family. I suspect this is the first move towards that anyway. I think that Sir Jim Ratcliffe will want to eventually take full control of Manchester United, but I think he's played quite a smart game so far in positioning himself to be the person to take the control of the football side of the business, and actually much more than that, really, in reality, when we have talk of possibly rebuilding Old Trafford. I think he'll be very instrumental in that as well. So yeah, it's very exciting news, confirmation of what we expected, but still to see that in black and white and the announcement made, I think everyone connected to Manchester United and their supporters will be very pleased.
Absolutely, Riath. The announcement accompanied by a short statement by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Did he hit all the high notes there? Very succinct statement, wasn't it? But he talks about restoring Manchester United to the top of English, European and world football, and mentions restoring world-class facilities as well. Does he get it? Is he read the room at United?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he's saying the right things, but he's also doing the right things. And you know, clearly we're at the start of this era, I suppose. But the signs are very encouraging. I think we're quite used to Manchester United in the last sort of 11 years or so since Alex Ferguson. Since he left, we've seen quite the opposite from them. I still get drawn to the Cristiano Ronaldo signing as this sort of splashy attempt at a quick fix. Already we're seeing a lot of onus being placed on infrastructure. Plans around Old Trafford are a key point. I think picking up Omar Barada as well from Manchester City was huge. Dan Ashworth looks likely to come in. So suddenly, you know, the emphasis is being placed on recruitment, is being placed on those sort of structural changes, which can actually allow United to take sustainable steps forward. Quite what that looks like over the coming transfer windows remains to be seen. I'm sure we'll talk about it shortly. United's spending position at the moment. There's an interesting story in the Telegraph that, again, we'll be coming to. But you know, the steps at this stage, they are encouraging. It does look like they're going to take a more considered view of the future and making progress. That's going to be very welcome at Manchester United. There have been so many missteps, and yeah, we knew this takeover was coming. We also know that the Glazers are still within the club, and until they do leave entirely, there will be a degree of unrest for Manchester United fans, but this is certainly a very good day for them.
Absolutely. And on that cautionary note, Jason, you put a bit of a dampener on it in your paper, as Riath says there. At least James Ducker has on the front page, the Telegraph sport page. Ratcliffe transfer reality check. Just tell us a little bit about this, Jason, because what rival fans have been saying for a while is the Glazers have spent money, haven't they, in the market, just not very well. And that's the point of this, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think obviously when a club is taken over, especially when it's taken over by a billionaire, there is an expectation that there'll be lots of money available for the transfer market. But obviously, as we've seen with Newcastle United, the financial fair play rules come into play. Manchester United have spent a huge amount of money in the last 3 summer windows. I think it's £555 million, which is beggars belief, really, considering what they've got in that return. £430 million spent since Erik ten Hag has been there. So it's not as if investment hasn't been put into the squad. It's just the wrong type of investment. And what's made it even worse is that they haven't managed to make any money back on player sales. So the balance sheet is not looking particularly healthy at the moment. I think the situation in terms of transfer would have been the same if this investment from Sir Jim Ratcliffe hadn't come in anyway. It's got nothing to do with that. You can't basically rack up the losses that Manchester United have been doing so over the last few years, and they're not being a repercussion to that. So they've got to be careful. They've got to balance the books a bit more this summer. But actually, I think because of the climate change at Manchester United, with what's going on elsewhere in the club and the appointments that are already in the pipeline, I think the fans will take this. I think they realise that a lot of money's been spent badly in the last few years, and what they want, I think, as well as obviously good investment into the squad, is that sort of balancing out of the funding. So I think they need to move quite a few players on this summer. I think there will be players bought, but I think they have to balance that out. They can't just suddenly spend hundreds of millions of pounds, because there is a financial ceiling. There isn't much wriggle room in what they can do. They've run up quite a lot of losses. I think it's £215 million the losses have been. Obviously, a lot of that is mitigated against in terms of COVID. But actually, they've got to be careful, because as we've seen with other clubs, and I'm not saying Manchester United are going to default on the PSR rules, but obviously we've seen with Everton and Nottingham Forest, the repercussions are huge in terms of that. So a club the stature of Manchester United can't really sail close to the wind. So yeah, I think it's a reality check, but actually in the context of what else is going on at the club, I think most fans will accept that. And I think they'll understand the situation, and they'll realise the direction of travel is now good for Manchester United. And this will take quite a lot of time to unpick the mess that's been made before in terms of what's been spent and the lack of good investment in the club, in the playing side of the business.
Absolutely. And James Ducker's piece underscores the significance of what this late surge for Champions League football could be financially for the club. Riath, final note on Manchester United. Is patience the word? Of course, Dan Ashworth on gardening leave. Doesn't seem like anything's going to happen too soon.
Yeah, absolutely. They do need to be patient, and for all of the reasons that Jason's just outlined there. These PSR rules are incredibly stringent. They are being clamped down on, and that is going to have an impact. Does that? I think we can probably all expect sort of Sancho. What does his future hold in the summer? Will he have to go? Casemiro is probably another one. There are question marks over. They're going to have to sell players to bring players in, and that's a process, and it can be quite a slow one. But like I was saying in the previous answer, moves to Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth, these are the manoeuvres of a club that's looking to do it the right way, the gradual way. And I think that sort of time of Manchester United going out and looking for the quick fix might have passed.